Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are all ready for another great outdoor video because today we are talking about dinosaurs. So my name is Jillian. I am a early on staff member here at Connections Earliers Family Center, and we are in our good friend's garden where today we are going to be digging for some dinosaur fossils. So of course, probably sounding a little grander than what is actually going to happen, but that's okay. It's all about getting your child outdoors and exploring their hobbies. So, for many of you might have a child who is very interested in dinosaurs. A lot of children are. So, it's always great to start with the book. So we have one here called Tyrannosaurus Rex. And even if you just always start your outdoor activities by going outside and reading a book, it's a great way to get your child, outside, used to the temperature. If they need to run in and grab another layer, that's okay. You can just start by getting them in the right frame of mind by reading a book about something that either they maybe already love if they are very excited about dinosaurs, or maybe if they're, aren't that familiar with them, it's a great way to make them familiar with it. So for our activity, we're going to be doing some sensory play by using materials that we have to kind of simulate an archaeological dig. So the benefits that this has is they're going to be hands-on. They'll get that feel in their hands, doing their fine and gross motor skills as they unearth things and then go to observe what they found. But the important part is that they are outside enjoying the fresh air while they do this, so it makes it different from other sensory play. So some materials that you need, it's a big tub, some selection of things that you want to bury. So here I have just full-on dinosaurs that we're going to be throwing in there. These are just taken from our toy room, so it doesn't need to be anything fancy. Also have some rocks. So some of these are just regular rocks, but others of these are actually tiny little fossils, and I don't know if you can see them kind of running through a little bit. So they're just tiny little fossils that are picked up of our garden rocks from the beach. Fossils are actually pretty common if you know how to identify them, so it's great just to throw them in and have some actual treasures to look for. And then, now that you have your base materials in there, you're going to add your filler. So for our filler, I'm using mulch because it just has a really fun, different texture. There's different size pieces, has a really nice woody smell that I enjoy. But you can use anything you have on hand, whether that's sand or dirt or anything you have. It completely depends on what's at hand. So we're going to empty this in. Oh, this actually does smell so good still. Alright, so you put some of your filler in. It might have been easier or harder than you thought. And then you can always just add a couple more dinosaurs and some stones just to mix it up and just give some fun little easy bits on the top. So here you have our archaeological digging ground, and it does have all those great sensory bits. The mulch is actually still warm because it was stored in our garage. It has that nice woody smell that the other outdoor mulch has lost, so using all of my senses here, and it's actually lots of fun. So for your tools of choice, you can either use a little shovel that you want to give your child, maybe a measuring cup, or maybe you just want to use your hands. All of them are good. And I also have a basket on hand for us to collect our treasures in. So when they're ready, they can just go ahead and get started. And again, if they do want gloves, especially if it's getting cold out, remember, layer as needed. You can always take them off. And as they go, you can just have them collect their treasures, but also have them really have to dig. So for me, this is simple enough, but for a young child, they'd really be using some of their muscles to have to actually move this mulch and manipulate it in a way that lets them get to what's underneath. They'll have to use their observational skills to pick out the rocks from the mulch and collect them in their treasure basket. And again, this is always fun to do with multiple children as well, because they can maybe even have a mini competition to see who can find all these different pieces first. And finding the rocks that I hid in there is actually proving to be a little bit difficult. So this might be an activity that you can spend, definitely at least 10-15 minutes on before you kind of go over the benefits and finding lots of dinosaurs in here, which is great. It also doesn't have to be dinosaurs. It can be anything your child has an interest in, including anything from maybe some plastic dolls that are washable to if they have their own treasure collection of rocks and other things. So when you have your collection of materials, you're just going to have your child go through the basket and just examine what it is that they found. So this is a great time to again ask those W questions of what did you find? How are these things different from each other? Why do you think? Maybe some of them are harder to pull out, maybe some of them are easier. When it comes to the actual rocks, again, some of them are plain, so it's a great way for them to kind of look at them, feel the texture, look at the patterns. Rocks are actually quite beautiful. You could do so many different activities with different types of rocks, especially in the rain. So this one has no fossil, it's just a plain rocks, but you have to really look at it to see that. But this one has these lovely speckles on it, and then you see the white ridge of a fossil running through this one. And again, some fossils are clearer than others, so hopefully the ones that you have at home are really good. So you can just see this, and they can kind of observe and think, okay, so this one's different. I noticed this pattern, and then you begin to use those critical thinking faculties that we want to always instill in our children. Have them start thinking about, okay, so this is a fossil. What is it a fossil of? How are fossils made? Maybe you've talked about this before. Maybe you haven't. Maybe this is a new kind of scientific area that you guys can explore together. Whatever it is, it will be lots of fun, and it's hitting on all those different developmental points that we'd like to do, such as sensory play, open-ended play. They can explore this bin however they like. They can get creative. Maybe they have a whole dishpan that they're gonna get in there and move everything. It's up to them, and they're still using those critical thinking and observational skills that we hope to develop as well. So that is it today for our miniature dinosaur dig. And again, there is no right or wrong way to do this. There's a million different variations you can do depending on what you have at hand, maybe your ability to maybe travel a bit, and what your child's interests are in. So I will post a link below the video with, again, different ways to do it, some different variations. But just remember, the important part is to get your child out and exploring and learning about everything from, how to use their sensory skills to analyze what they're doing, to developing fine and gross motor skills, to developing a passion for things like dinosaurs and fossils and other hobbies that take them outside and exploring nature and geography and science. So hopefully you did enjoy this one. Again, please check it out, and if you have any photos or experiences you want to share with us about this, please do connect with us. We're on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. So thank you again for watching. If you want a copy of our Tyrannosaurus Rex book, we do have our Readers Are Leaders pickup every Thursday. So give us a call, and we will see you soon. Thank you for connecting with us.